Hey, I'm Bubba.
And I'm John.
We use our questionable and sometimes traumatic childhood experiences to hopefully become better parents.
We might not succeed,
But listen,
they're fine. Brandon, you have a large book in front of us with various clippings and awards.
Oh, so many. The Michigan Merit Award. Look at this. Fruitport High School Award for Excellence. British Literature. Creative Writing. Gooning.
Did you put this together yourself?
I had a company do it. Independent Study. Creative Writing. Integrated Social Studies Level 4.
All right, we could be here for a while. We could.
Media Student of the Year. Certificate of Merit, Creative Writing, Poetry, Honorable Mention.
They really thought big things were coming for you.
They were wrong.
Brandon, what do you have for us today?
May I begin? From spring 2001, Off the Wall, Creative Writing by Muskegon Teens, As Death Alters Politics by Brandon Ogborn, Fruitport High School. I hope you got a fucking diaper on, John.
I'm so ready for this.
It's going to take me 90 minutes to read this. I remember the boy with the blue backpack. Tragically thin, his body was constructed from plumbing pipes dipped in flesh-colored wax. Silent and sluggish, he habitually wandered, harboring a proclivity to cheap cigarette lighters, playing with them like matchbox cars, worn wrestling t-shirts with threatening logos.
I'm trying not to laugh.
I'm trying not to cry. A pair of baggy black pants with sandwich stains, clenching the bag like a cat with a dead bird, walking into English class. 2 front teeth warped, tarnished yellow as earwax, coated with shards of Doritos, thin black hairs straight above his lips. Thin black hairs wove his eyebrows together. I'm 1/3 of the way done.
I mean, could you give us a little more description? Could you try to paint the picture a little more? I mean,
His cold ass sat in the desk. I swore.
you did.
His cold ass sat in the desk near the wall in the back of the class, quivering in front of a broken notebook, leaning against the ventilation box. A sadistic grin swelled while he munched on those fatal chips, like a messy baby in a high chair.
Fatal chips. Nice.
He once gave a speech in English class. It came out jittery and jumbled as Jared poked fun at him. That's called alliteration, John. Nobody spoke to him, but he spoke to me once. Who's going to win tonight, The Rock or Hollywood Hulk? I threw him a condescending look and turned back around in my desk. Those grappling men, pumped with steroids didn't appeal to me as they did to him. He was a Philistine.
Yeah, no, you were very cultured.
Then it's about to take off here, so
Oh, no, I can tell.
I can't.
You
I
have
can't
to.
finish it. It's
You have
it's
to.
too powerful.
You have to.
Then he borrowed my pencil, but blatantly broke it. That's called alliteration again.
Thank you.
Got up and left rapidly, akin to an athlete. Also alliteration. The bag had foul words etched on it with whiteout. He held it tighter as he toddled to his baby blue locker.
More alliteration.
Determined murky eyes sank deep in his skull. The bitter black pants ruffled like paper bags while he picked up speed. I remember the boy with the blue backpack. He opened it upon returning to class. He spun around like a bartender, but had no drinks to offer. Hardly aimed his hand cannon. A siren of noise erupted. Bright family fireworks sprayed my face. A lovely crimson red painted over everything. Then it all went to black. Deafening screams pierced the hallway, while I became another stain on his pants. John, if you could just think for a second of the hand jobs I got out of this poem.
I have chills right now.
Yeah.
Man.
I did some dry humping after this.
Your English teacher was so fucking proud.
Mrs. Kennedy,
Oh, man.
she's following me on Facebook. I'm sure she's going to see this clip.
She was so proud of you. She was like, you got it all. You remembered all of it. The illustration, the painting, the picture.
You put yourself as the tragic character who was murdered for his bullying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How brave.
How self-aware.
You also walked a mile in someone else's shoes? Mind you, this is 2001. There's really only been Columbine and a handful of others, so it was pretty edgy at the time.
I mean, A+.
It's edgy now.
A+ on this
Thank
assignment.
you.
Yes. Wow.
What
So-
an opener.
What a payoff for our audience from last week.
What a treat. What a blessing.
For those of you in the universe, as we like to say, this was Brandon's poem.
Yeah, it was my poem. And guys, I don't like attention. I don't like it.
Anybody who knows you knows
I'll
you
read
don't
it again.
like attention.
Should I read it again in a different, funnier voice?
You should.
Welcome to Listen, They're Fine.
Ayo.
I'm Brandon Bubba Ogborn, and I'm with my friend John, whose job I still don't know. What do you do again, John?
We just talked about this before the mics went hot.
He still won't tell me what he does.
I've told you so many times.
Is it Palantir? Is that how you pronounce it?
It's not.
You make surveillance and weapons device to kill children in the Middle East, right?
I have told you my job at least a dozen times, and every time I get about 3 seconds in, I see your eyes glaze over, and I picture the inside of your brain with just a hamster sleeping on the wheel.
It's because you have a job that you can't just say, I bartend, I lay pipe. You go, well, you know those things called blank? Well, we have a company where we watch people do that, and we come up with ideas here, see? And then they sell those ideas on the free market, right?
All of your ideas or jobs are from like the 40s and 50s. You're like
This fella
doctor,
here,
policeman, firefighter,
he's an
lawyer.
investment banker.
I'm not
got
going
a
to
white
bore.
collar.
I'm not going to bore you with
Just see if
this.
you can say it in 3 words. What is your job in 3 words?
Data analytics.
Well,
2 words. I'll one up you.
okay. Describe
Nope.
for the working class
Nope.
what data
I
analytics
will
does and why it's coming for their job. Explain why it already came for their job and why it'll soon be coming for yours.
No, AI is coming for all of our jobs.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't do that.
Pretty soon you'll be another stain on somebody's pants.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, that's awesome.
We're not going to top that. Let's take a break.
Take a break. Well, Brandon, I realize it was probably a lot for you to bring out your creative endeavors from high school.
Real quick, I should just say we did name check Doritos as part of a snack for the school shooter.
Mm-hmm.
In the interest of potential sponsorships, I'm willing to go back and update the copy on that poem if Doritos or
Objects.
whoever owns
Yeah.
them now, I don't know, BlackRock,
Sure.
want to sponsor us. But
Sure. We'll move it, put in
Yeah.
chestnuts or something
yeah,
instead.
but I'm a big wounded open heart, John, so I appreciate you holding space for me.
I challenge anyone who wants to talk shit about your poem.
Yeah.
Let's, glass houses, everyone. Bring out your creative endeavors from high school.
Frankly, name a better poem.
Yeah. Show me your poem from high school and
Yeah.
and let's hear
Or
it,
even
okay?
one that you read in high school. Like,
Yeah.
I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Big deal.
I'm not showing you any poems that I wrote in high school.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
You probably did. Well, you know what? Some of your songs could be poems. Isn't rock and roll just poems with a
Yeah.
with a mosh pit?
I mean, one of these days I'll get brave enough to play you some of my music from high school.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It probably sounds just like normal music to me, frankly.
It sounds like bad garage band music from the 90s.
Hey, it's coming back.
Okay.
What do you got, John? I heard you did some digging into your past.
So this is the payoff episode, I think. So
I guess.
we really let our audience have a little treat with your poem. We spoke last week about the fight that I recollected from when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
When my dad went over to a neighbor's house and got into a fight. So
we should say the fight was at the behest of an honor of a neurodivergent child who had his candy ransacked by some bullies.
exactly,
So,
which
to
was
me a just cause.
that was my recollection of it.
Yeah, this is a World War II of necessary dad fights.
So
This is justified.
absolutely. So if you didn't hear last week's episode, we don't normally do this. You really should go back and listen.
Yeah, it's a magical piece of storytelling of old school dad fighting dad on the street. Kids pile into a car and driving over. The story has everything.
It does.
But are you telling me that this narrative may not be?
Well, I'm telling you what I did is after I told that story, I thought, I have not asked my dad about this story maybe ever.
Oh no!
I don't know that I ever have. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to call my dad and ask him if he remembers this. My dad is sober now. He did a lot of drinking back in the day.
Yeah.
Who so
didn't?
I didn't know if he'd remember it or not, quite honestly.
He goes, huh?
So I called him up and I asked him if he recalled this story. And I asked if it was okay if I recorded the phone call. And he was okay with me doing the story.
Yeah.
And so
Dads, people that age are leery of the recording.
they are.
devices, you know? Also, because his mom was a PI, he's probably very leery.
That was
about
my
it.
mom's mom. But
I see.
yeah. So
His
yeah.
mother-in-law, even worse, probably was
I know,
more leery.
right? He's really leery.
Trust.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play that for you this week.
In its entirety, because of our limited technology, we're not going to be able to stop the recording. Right now.
we're gonna listen to it all the way through. Brandon and I will probably comment, but we're gonna try not to stop it unless we absolutely have to.
He doesn't say any racial slurs or anything, right?
Just wait.
Oh no!
All right, are you ready for this?
He goes corn pop.
All right, we're gonna bring this up. Here we go, guys.
Oh.
I was telling this story on my podcast, and I was curious to hear your side, your rendition of this story. Do you have a recollection of this story? Could you tell your version of it?
Yeah, I remember it pretty clear.
Let's hear it.
So-
What happened? Give me the full story.
Well, I just remember someone came flying in and said some kid punched you. Some mean neighbor kid hit you. So we jumped in the truck, went over to see what's going on. And my intent was just to go over and talk to the kid and say, hey, don't be hitting my kid. What's wrong with you? You know, it's Halloween. What's wrong with you?"
Admirable. Right?
Yeah.
And everybody jumped in the truck. It was like a posse going over to the neighbor's house, you know.
I don't remember your dad sounded like he works in a coal
We
mine.
got
but-
there, we were met by the neighborhood guy's dad and his mom or something, and he came up and said, you know, something, I don't remember what he said, you know, like, the fuck is your problem or something? And I just shoved him. I said, man, fuck you. And I pushed him. Well, turned out he was a pretty big, strong guy, you know. He was a Polak.
Ah!
And so he came back at me, and I was going to crack him. And just before I cracked him, Patty went, Daddy! And I turned, and I'm like, what?
Who's
And
Patty?
right then,
My
he
sister.
cracked me right in the mouth. Hard.
Ooh,
I mean, he
fucking
dropped
Patty.
me. And I jumped up. I'm like, what the hell happened? And,
Where am I?
he was actually a pretty good fighter. You know, he's a pretty tough guy.
Okay.
And so we got into it. You know, we wrestled around and punched each other a few times.
That old Polak
But
string.
actually, I think I said, so that's how it's going to be. And he cracked me again.
So that's how it's going to be.
Punched me again.
Class.
I'm like, you son of a bitch. So we jumped and we started wrestling on the ground, went back more than then his wife came flying out, and they were going to call the cops and this and that. And,
Well, sure.
They were going to call the cops.
They were going to call the cops, yeah.
I mean, he punched you twice, and he wanted to call the cops?
Yeah. I'm like, well,
Okay.
fucking call them.
Fucking
Give a
call.
shit, call them. We can keep fighting for all I give a shit.
Dude,
I just warming up, you know?
He's fucked up right now.
And then everybody got there, John. It became ridiculous.
Oh,
You know,
not the
over
word I thought
a
he was
little
going to say.
shoving or punching incident. Yeah.
What was your
Little
plan
incident.
to, like, go over to this family's house with a bunch
a
of
little
kids in the back of
incident.
a truck?
I didn't really have a plan, John. I just knee-jerk reaction. I just jumped in the truck. I was going to go over and tell this kid, hey, don't be hitting my kid, and talk to his dad. Say, hey, what the heck's going on around here? You know, your kid kept me jumping my kid. It's Halloween. What the hell?
It's you don't do it on Halloween.
Not on Halloween.
The holiest
that's not how
of
it worked out.
days.
Why? How did it escalate into a fight so quickly?
I love
That's
that with
where
the
my
kid,
memory
it's all
fails
like,
here a
what the
little
heck?
bit.
And then the
They
dad is
were
like,
waiting
fuck
for
you, man.
Okay.
It was like two gangs were getting together to slug it out, you know?
Yeah, it was the Hatfield and the McCoys.
Exactly. And when I got there, and I jumped out and talked, this guy was already ready to fight. I'm like, hey,
Exactly.
what the hell?
Sure.
What the hell kind of kid you raising around here? He's like, fuck you. I'm like, fuck me, fuck you. You know, it went that quick.
Okay.
And it happened so quick, John. I really, you know, it wasn't my plan at all to go
Things
there
do, as
and
far as
punch the neighbor
violence
out. That was
between
not the
adults.
idea at all.
Sure.
What I did was just tell him, hey, you know, you want to talk to your kid here?
Hey.
His kid was a bully, from what I remember, John.
Mm-hmm. He was. I remember. I remember him from school.
I remember.
You must have been in your 20s at the time, because I was pretty young.
I think I was about 30. I remember seeing the dad at something at Palmdale High, some type of a awards thing. He was a lot bigger than what I remember. You know, I don't know if he'd been working out or whatever. A year later, like, holy crap, that guy's kind of big, you know.
That guy got more
And he
Polish.
didn't say a word to me. I didn't say a word to him. We just stared at each other.
Well, all right. Do you mind if I use this story on the podcast?
I don't care.
Fucking fuck
If you
here.
like it,
All right. I will.
let's do it. You can change it and say I knocked him on his butt if you like.
Yeah, can you
You know
change
the
it?
funny
I will.
part,
I'm
Johnny,
gonna change
about
it.
fighting with me is I've never really liked fighting, even though I've fought a fair amount in my day. And truthfully, like when I got into it with Larry next door, I don't know if you
There's
remember
more.
that.
There's more.
And I beat his ass one night. The fight only lasted about 10 seconds, but I pounded him. He came into my bedroom with a pair of brass knuckles to take his girlfriend home. And they'd been up all night doing cocaine and drinking. It was on my birthday. We were all celebrating, and he came over there and pulled a pair of brass knuckles on me. And, oh, that pissed me off, Johnny. And I told him,
What the hell are you talking about? You were with
Remember-
the neighbor's girlfriend doing cocaine all night?
so him and his girlfriend are out doing cocaine and drinking all night. I have a birthday party going on at our house, my birthday.
Family thing.
I'm
Of
like
course.
25, 28, something. I'm probably 28, 27, 28 years old.
Living in
And
America.
we're celebrating. We're having a great old time. And all of a sudden,
1987.
his girlfriend shows up at our house. And everyone's just rocking in our house, having a great time. So she comes in, and we let her in. I think, oh, the neighbors are coming by. Cool. And Larry comes storming in. Hey, what's up, Larry? That's great. All right, bro. And so
Rules Larry.
she runs in the bedroom and hides, so people go in the room to find out what's going on, this and that. He's there. And so, well, it turns out they've been out drinking and doing coke all night, both of them. And she
Good
was
combo.
afraid of him or something. So she
I
ran
don't know
over to
why.
our house to get away from him. So then he came in, and I said, dude, relax, chill out. She's not going anywhere. Have a drink with us.
Van Halen's on the radio.
I didn't know much about coke back at that time yet. And
Now I
I
do.
didn't realize how unpredictable it made people. And I'm just trying to calm down, and he says, she's coming home with me right now. I'm like, bro, relax. And she just goes, you ain't stopping me. Whips out a pair of brass knuckles. I'm like, whoa. What the hell?
What the hell, man?
He'd gone home for a minute, come back. And he said he wasn't going to, going to let me be the peacemaker. I really was just trying to be a peacemaker, Johnny. And he
Your
pulled up
Honor.
her brass knuckles. I'd never seen him before. I'm like, dude,
I don't even know what these
knock
are.
it off. He's like, fuck you. I'm like, dude,
You put your weed
better
in
knock it
these
off.
holes?
now you're pissing me off. I'm going to grab my gun in a minute. Everyone went, no, don't let him get the gun. I'm like, all right. So
It's
then
funny now.
I said, Larry, put the brass
Hilarious.
knuckles away. He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. And I cracked him right in the fucking mouth. Whammo! He fell on
Whammo.
my bed, and I grabbed his hand with brass knuckles, and I pounded him about 5 or 6 more times in the head till he finally dropped the brass knuckles. And when he dropped them,
He was brain dead.
I stopped hitting him, and got him up, passed his face back together, put a rag on it, because I hit him pretty hard. And he took off running home. Well, I thought he was going to go home and get a gun or something.
Well,
So I
sure.
got my gun out.
Mhm.
Sure.
I didn't
There you go.
wave it around by putting it in my back.
Kids
waist.
are all just watching
And
old
then
Taylor.
his girlfriend was going crazy. She's high on cocaine. It was just the craziest night, John. And so I said, guys, call the cops. I'm tired of this shit. And so I think the cops showed up or something. I don't remember, but she ended up going home with him anyway.
I don't know if they're cops or security guards.
So now, the next
It's
day, I see
village
Larry
people.
and John, his face is
More
black
neighbors.
and blue. He is fucked up. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, every time I saw him, I felt so bad, Johnny.
Sure.
And the point of that story was, I remember learning something as I got a little bit older now, was that I actually felt worse. I didn't like fighting anyway. I didn't like fighting win or lose. But I actually felt worse winning a fight than losing a fight. Like, I could deal with getting punched or hurt, lick my wounds and be okay in a couple of days. But I felt so bad inside from hurting another person
Oh,
that I never want to do that again.
wow.
And
Like a
finally,
Kenny
we
Rogers
ran
song.
into him at Steerenstein one night about a month or so later.
At
and
the
he was
what?
doing Okay, and I was
Steerenstein.
Sure.
not feeling quite as bad. He said, "Hey, no hard feelings or anything." I said, "No, dude, I'm sorry about what happened." He goes, "Yeah, me too." We shook hands, and that was the end of it. And we never talked about it again.
All his teeth are gone.
That's the story.
Is there more? Can there be?
I mean, it was our conversation was 20 minutes long. I edited it down to 8 minutes.
What I learned, John.
I mean, I didn't expect him to really wrap it up with a moral, but he totally
Yeah.
did. I couldn't believe
I
it.
felt better losing the fight.
Yeah.
Well, he was a losing man. Dude, there's so many layers of white trash in that.
How
I
dare
love
you?
it.
How dare you?
I shouldn't racialize it.
yeah.
But desert living. I mean, dude, the thing is like my parents were not like that, but I remember being at my friend's house in like 6th, 7th grade, and his parents were your parents.
Yeah,
Like I was in that party house of like kids falling asleep on the ground while adults are coming in and out with drugs and fighting, and you don't even know why they're fighting. It's just escalating. And then hearing like somebody went to the bar and so got stabbed, and the kids are like freaking out, and there's cops that come and are like, "Is your parents here?" And they're like, "No," but the dad's hiding downstairs. And it's like, I mean, it's hilarious. I feel terrible for you. But maybe it wasn't as bad as this house that I used to
No,
go to.
I
Like,
think
this
yours-
house was
yeah.
bad.
Yours sounds worse, but I think
There was
it's-
like child abuse and stuff.
yeah.
I
See,
don't
we-
think you had
No,
any of
we
that.
didn't. I think I
They
don't.
were just having a good time.
I don't think it's binary. I think it's a
Yeah.
spectrum, right? It's not,
But
completely
you
dysfunctional.
said gender's a binary, I think is what you said.
Yeah, that's
Separately.
binary. Yeah, different
Just to
conversation.
clarify for the audience.
No, but you know what I mean. Where I grew up in a very chaotic environment. I
Yeah.
think, as the that little segment can attest to. But we got to school. We got good grades.
Yeah.
My dad was always at work. Like they somehow managed to keep this thing on
They
the
worked
rails.
hard, they played hard.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's pull away from any of the tragedy of it and
Sure,
bask in
sure.
the glory of the storytelling, which is the first thing that stuck out at me, excuse my burp, is how funny it is that your dad's recalling this story. I mean, he makes no mention of the candy stealing thing, which he has a different memory of.
Yeah, that he says I got hit.
Now, maybe you did because the kid got his candy stolen and you tried to stop it and the kid hit you and the story got all mixed up.
Exactly.
But the other thing is that he has no plan, as he states multiple times,
Zero plan.
other than to go give a talking to a child.
What the heck?
So when a drunk adult shows up with a pickup truck full of children, naturally this other adult goes, "What's going on?" And then your dad, I'm guessing shirtless and drunk, goes, "I just want to tell your kid how to live." That this guy goes, no. And then your dad goes, "Fuck you." And this guy punches your dad out.
Yeah.
And it goes on. But I love that as your dad's talking about his plan for the child, it's very polite. He's like, "I just wanted to tell this child,
Yeah.
hey, little buddy, we all behave different ways and it's not okay to hurt another person." But then when the dad comes in, he goes, "And fucking shut the fuck. You gotta fucking, well, I guess we'll fucking go then, bitch. Cops, I don't give a fuck. What are you doing now?" And then he goes, "But again, I just want to tell the kid, like,
Yeah.
hey, little guy."
He code switches.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, I like one of my favorite parts is he's like, not on Halloween. All right.
Yeah.
You can't be hitting people on
It's
Halloween.
not on a high holiday.
respect the holiday.
It is true though that like Halloween is like Holy Week for desert folk. Like, you can't do that, man. The orange and green lights are lit, and people are getting hammered with their children. There's
We're having
kids
a
walking
party.
around in an ET costume.
Yeah.
You can't desecrate this place.
What's next? St. Patrick's Day? Yeah. I think it's really funny, like how much he took umbrage with Halloween.
The Polak thing
Yeah.
is so funny.
He
that
he
goes-
did mention that he was a Polak a couple more
he goes,
times in the story.
I didn't know how strong he was. Polak, which I guess is like, sure, if we're going to get into the racism of it all, like the Polish came over, they worked in a lot of elevator jobs and building cities and stuff, so they're strapping type folk-esque. I knew a lot of
I
electricians,
guess.
tradesmen.
Yeah.
But that he was like, he got hit, and then after he's getting hit, he's putting two together of like, hey, this guy's bigger than I thought, and this guy's a Polak. then I love the line. He goes, then I get up. I go, what the heck's going on here? And it's like, well, what's going on, sir?
Is you're in a fight.
Is that you decided to load up a car, a pickup truck full of children, and in a matter of seconds, found yourself splayed out, getting beaten in front of multiple families. That's what happened.
Yeah. And I do remember him getting hit twice, and man, he popped up both times, and he was ready to go.
Well, he was drunk. I've fought drunk before.
Yeah, he had that drunk
and you
strength.
pop right up.
Yeah.
Well, it's the drunk strength, but also the pain doesn't really hit you. So
Yeah.
you're just like, I got hit in the face. Like we used to drunk box, backyard boxing all the time at parties, and it was like you could get knocked out and pop back up. I also love that he said like a year later he saw him at an award ceremony, which I love cutting to this. From this very informal scene to this very formal one. But your dad says, like, ne'er a word was spoken. We just eyed each other.
Looked at each other, yeah.
Like, we both knew the score was even. And it's like, no, it wasn't. You beat the shit out of you in front of a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I mean, and he was just like, yeah, that's what happened. There we
That's
go.
what happened. Okay.
But then cutting to the next story, which I did
Cutting
not
to the
expect.
next story is, how did he even get to the other story?
He was just saying, I lost, because he kind
He
of
said,
admits, he's like, I lost that fight.
oh, yeah. And then he said, let me tell you about one I won, which was Larry. Do you remember this guy, Larry?
Just some neighbor, I think. I don't even recall. Yeah.
While we're on it and while we're talking about old episodes, I do want you to do a follow-up call with your dad or your mom about the murderer across the street to see what they remember.
Yeah.
Because your dad, I bet your dad's got some hilarious anecdotes where he's like, yeah, man, I'm just like having a beer, fixing his mower, got a Kathy Ireland poster in the garage, tits out, real sweet. Little I know this dude's about to hack up his wife, but you never know. He was on The Price is Right the next morning. Love it, dude.
Yeah, he does. He's a good storyteller, I think.
So I love the other story, though, is like, first off, love your dad. Don't believe he's never seen Brass Knuckles before.
I mean,
though.
at the time.
Had he never seen like any 80s movies? I feel like every 80s movie somebody had Brass Knuckles.
This was in the 80s. This was probably when he's telling that story, my guess this is probably 1986.
Oh, so this is before they were immortalized and memorialized in a lot of street fighting, kickboxing type movies.
Yeah, I think he'd, maybe
there'd be somebody who'd be like, yeah, and they put them on and stuff.
Yeah. I think you
remember
probably
seeing
heard of
flea
him.
market.
Probably heard of him
Yeah.
at the time,
But I love, so this, it sounds like if I was a police officer taking a report, they're just partying, having a good time.
Yep.
This gal next door runs over. Your dad thinks to party with everybody, and he's going, yeah, we're all just dancing.
Join the party.
Dancing to ZZ Top.
Exactly, ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your dad's sitting at the table, no doubt, just having a ciggy, being like, yeah, Johnny, show him your Michael Jackson. He can do Michael Jackson. The black guy. Hits a Budweiser, probably just red can, and then this girl comes in and goes, oh, shit, her bra's ripped. Fine with me. And then some guy named Larry comes in all sweaty with his shirt ripped and claw marks on him.
I imagine him, he's
going,
like,
where's Tina?
like kind of a Miami Vice looking guy, right? Like kind of sleazy.
Sunburned around the sunglasses.
Yeah.
And your
maybe a
dad's
Hawaiian
like,
shirt, kind of ripped.
Yeah, and your dad's like, hey, man, we don't want no trouble. And the guy's like, where's fucking Tina, man? And he's like, whoa, we're just having a good time.
This is when Coke people meet like drinking people.
Yeah, when Coke people meet beer people.
Yeah.
They're like, man, he's pretty high energy, dude. We're just chill.
fucking hanging out here.
Chill. And then
Have a
I
cold
guess
one,
the
bro.
girl hides in the bedroom. Do you have any recollection of this?
No.
You guys are watching Neverending Story or something.
Yes.
And your mom's like, you're on your parents' waterbed
Watching
with
Top
like
Gun.
12 other kids.
Yeah.
And she's like, everybody get out of the bedroom. You're like, the best part's coming.
Yeah.
And this woman's sobbing in your mom's closet,
Mm-hmm.
And then
This all adds up.
Larry comes in. It's sad to me that this guy's name is Larry, by the way, because that's my father-in-law, and I haven't met a bad one, but this might be the first bad Larry.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for something happened and your dad stood in the way, and this guy decided to produce brass knuckles as a threat.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he even put them on.
No, it sounds like he put them on.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. He said he put them on, and then my dad proceeded to beat him with his own brass knuckles, is what it sounded like.
Okay.
Until he
Wow.
dropped them.
Until he dropped them.
Yeah.
Until your dad dropped
No,
them.
till he dropped them.
Wait, so how did your dad beat him with... That's where it got lost in the story.
Like punching somebody with their own fist.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. Actually, I don't think your dad should feel...
You were
I
on
was
the fence
confused
before.
because he was like, I beat him with the brass knuckles till he dropped him. I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Wow, he used his own fist. That's some cool shit,
Do you
dude.
think he pulled out the stop punching yourself thing? Like,
Yeah.
stop punching yourself.
He's like, and Johnny, you remember you're giving him nuggies, and I was having Randy teabag him all at the same time.
I mean, yeah, it's a real journey.
And then your dad,
Yeah.
what did he say about putting his face together, though? I was like, he was telling us, I was like, did he kill this guy?
yeah.
I feel bad about killing Larry, though.
I mean, I think they just kind of.
It's not-
It sounds like there was some blood involved, so maybe
Yeah.
they're kind of we're patching them up.
Yeah.
Some gauze and
Dude, I can just
Tape.
see. Did your dad have a mustache and a mullet?
yeah, he had a mustache. He didn't have a mullet, but he
Did he
had
have
a
a little
mustache.
short mullet,
Yeah,
though?
yeah, like
just
shaggy.
a little
He
bit
had kind of
over.
long hair, kind of all over, like
Yeah.
think what's his name? Saturday Night Fever.
Travolta?
Yeah, kind of some Travolta.
Yeah, dude, your dad's hot.
Kind of like hair like that, kind of like the
Your
wavy.
dad's fucking
yeah,
80s hot.
with a mustache.
Just Siggy dangling, just
Yeah.
dancing, dude. He's got those shorts, probably 7-inch
there was
denim
a lot.
shorts.
There was a lot of shorts happening.
Dude, just
I don't like you sexualizing my father like
dude,
this.
your dad was sexualizing himself back then, just beating ass. Your dad's fucking living that Patrick Swayze fantasy life. Like, dude, you're growing up in Roadhouse. You're telling me not to sexualize your dad. Your dad's you got a hoochie daddy? You're telling me not to.
I got to put a picture of my dad from back in the day on here.
Dude, it's gonna be
In
our
the
show
Instagram.
art. This new poster's getting torn down. I want to do an AI image of your dad in short shorts, Tom Selleck style.
Yeah.
He's got a pair of brass knuckles and a Budweiser, and like that's our show art. You know, super short shorts on,
Sure.
mustache. Oh, brass knuckles.
It's real inside baseball.
There's a woman sobbing in the background.
Yeah.
There's the guy. Actually, it should be the Larry story. We have the Larry guy laid out, face
Sure.
covered in blood. Yeah, hero shot.
Because
dude.
that's the story with the moral. I don't think
Yeah.
the first story really had a moral.
Yeah, the first story is more like he's lost, and
Yeah.
it's like a really low stakes Bourne ultimatum
Yeah.
or Bourne Identity, where it's like, what am I doing?
No
Am I a
plan.
secret agent? It's like, no. You picked a fight with a sober person
Yeah.
who saw you coming to attack his child and what looked like you were going to attack his child.
With a truck full of children.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
a truck full of feral children.
Zero plan. The second story had a moral. He was
Yeah.
trying to save a woman in distress.
Yeah.
I mean, we really learned something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A woman who ran into his house during a wild birthday party.
Yeah. What a birthday.
What a birthday.
I mean, do you have any birthdays like that? Any
No,
birthdays
but
that can
I think
rival that?
I don't, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who accidentally committed manslaughter on their birthday,
Saving a distressed,
surrounded by their family.
coked up woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the moral is beer people and coke people don't mix.
They don't.
Yeah.
And beer and Coke doesn't mix.
Yeah.
I do love too that your dad's like, that I didn't know a lot about Coke then.
Yeah.
You
he
know?
prefaced it.
I did
long,
later.
Long pause.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. But you didn't know your parents to do drugs, right? Just more partying.
Mainly alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
But,
drinking.
everybody did a little. They called them bumps back then.
Yeah.
Just a casual.
I mean, I was very young. I don't know. But I imagine they probably kept that a little bit more secret like.
Well, the thing is, you got to go to work in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have Red Bull then.
Yeah.
What
All
a
right.
treat.
There we go.
John Sr.
Yeah.
What's your dad's middle name?
Stephen.
John, Stephen, John. Funny, your father-in-law's name is Stephen.
I know.
It'd be funny do you know your father-in-law's middle name? It'd be funny if it's John.
It's Stephen John. No,
Stephen
I don't.
John and John Stephen.
No, that sounds Mormon. Stephen John, doesn't
yeah,
it?
a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, that's the story. I don't think we're really gonna top that.
I think we should end the podcast permanently. I think this was
Well, I
our
think-
heights.
I don't think we can because my
Oh.
dad's got a lot more stories. So I don't
Dude.
think you, audience, have heard the last of John Stephen Ahern Sr.
And so you're saying you thought the guy who shot up the White House Correspondents' Dinner was a time traveler? Is that what you're saying?
I thought he was a...
It seems like a real deep conspiracy theory, John. I don't know about that.
Boy, timely, huh?
Weird for you. And we're back.
Wow. I'm still recovering from that last interview with my dad.
It was pretty magical. It was like it was like watching all of the 80s fighting movies at once.
Into one, right?
Yeah, or almost like I wonder if like they're saying like to go back to the school shootings, like if all the violence in the gun violence in the 90s 2000s caused all these school shootings, if anybody ever accurately studied street fights that were caused by people perpetuated by people like your dad from watching all these Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Sylvester Stallone
movies that are just like, I fucking laid him out.
Yeah.
Like everything was just fighting in a parking lot.
It really was. I mean, we didn't mention this.
Was it an epidemic?
It was a different time where it's just like you just got into fights and it's like the police came, no one pressed charges, you just kind of moved on with your life.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen
But
anymore.
I wonder though, John, if your dad also said, I think we forgot to talk about like your dad was like, well, that's going to have my gun. If he was going to get his gun, I was
Sure.
going to come back waiting with my gun.
Yeah,
and it's like, then he's going to go get his bazooka because I had my nunchucks that had lasers. But I wonder if
It was an arms race.
If we're talking about memory and we go like, well, back then everybody just fought and it was handled, sure, maybe there wasn't as many guns in people's hands, but also maybe there were so many fights that the police were just like, we don't even have room in jail, in the county jails for all these white Budweiser drinking dads that are quick to try to do a roundhouse kick because somebody said their wife was ugly.
I can only imagine the cops show up and they're just like,
Like eighth one of the night, there's 7 guys in the squad car handcuffed going, well, fuck you. And I said, fuck you. And what'd you say? And he said, fuck you to me. And I was like, fuck that,
fuck
Jack.
me, fuck you.
Fuck you, Jack. And I laid him out. Wait, did he lay me out? No, we laid each other out.
That was last week.
Just like,
Last week, you laid me out. This week, I laid you out.
it reminds me of the old Andy Griffith show. There was this character, Otis.
I was just thinking the exact.
The
We've been
town
hanging out
drunk.
too much. Where they're just like,
We've never
I guess
talked about Andy Griffith. though.
they're like, all right, I guess you got to take you into jail tonight, Otis.
Well, the thing I was going to say one step further is that I can't remember that name of the episode, but where Andy Griffith and somebody's in the jail and Otis just walks in drunk, gets the keys and locks himself in the
puts him
jail
in. Yeah,
and
yeah,
hangs
yeah.
him back
I
up.
remember that. Yeah, it does seem that way. Where I mean, it does. I bet the cops were just like, "Do you want to press charges?" And both guys are like, "No." And they're like, "Great, we're gonna leave."
Yeah, and actually their wives are probably like, no, they have to take the kids to baseball tomorrow.
Just get out of here.
One's an
Yeah.
umpire and the other one is,
Larry, go
coaching.
home. John, put away the fucking gun.
Yeah, like we'll see about that tomorrow, and then the next day they're like, "God damn!"
I
that
cut
was
out.
fucked up."
I mean, just for the sake of brevity, I did cut out part of the interview where my dad mentioned that guy Larry was mad that one of the people at the party stole his brass knuckles.
Oh,
So he got real mad that somebody stole him. My dad said, "Well, we did him a favor because if the cops would have found the brass knuckles, that was a felony."
it was
Yeah, I don't know.
that. You know what? I feel like I remember from that era somebody being like, "These brass knuckles are a felony."
Yeah. So my dad
Yeah.
goes, "We did him a favor by stealing. Somebody stole
So
those."
that was
yeah.
after he got his ass beat. They
Yeah.
were like, "Get rid of these."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, we need to have Larry on. That's who we need to have on.
Oh, Larry's
to
not
get
alive. There's no
Larry's
way.
side. Yeah, he's
That guy
dead.
coked up in the 80s,
He
rocking
got-
brass knuckles.
He definitely got shot off
Yeah.
a balcony. Fell in a pool. But the thing is, it made me think about, because this whole weekend, because it's been Henry's birthday this weekend.
Yeah.
By the way, first birthday party this motherfucker's ever had.
His fifth.
His fifth. He's never had a party.
Sure.
Maggie's had 7.
Yeah.
Multiple different parties. She's probably had 25 birthday parties by now.
I mean, is it because she's requested them?
It's just like she'll have a party here and then we'll be at grandma's and she'll have a special thing there or whatever. And it's like the gifts and the adulation she needs so much.
But why not? But why not Henry?
He doesn't care. He's
Okay.
never asked for it.
Okay.
For his birthday, I took him once to ride the Surfliner train down to the beach.
Yeah.
Greatest day of his life. He talks about it all the time. Remember when you took me on the Surfliner train? We should do that again.
So
He's
cute.
experiential. He's tactile. Sure, he's kind of getting into Legos. He doesn't even know how to put them together. But, Hot Wheels and trains and vehicles and very, hyper masculine gender binary kind of toys that are not my kind of thing as a dad, and but he doesn't really care. But Maggie has been dealing with this whole weekend. He's getting presents from relatives in the mail, and everyone that comes, she's like, but he got a bunch of stuff and I didn't, and Henry got all these shoes and he got all these toys, and I'm like, bitch, it was your birthday less than a month ago.
Yeah.
And it was like Hanukkah. It was like 5 Hanukkahs. It was like for months things came in the mail and you were celebrating. But it's like never enough for her. But I was not doing a good job as a dad because I would kind of lash out at her. And instead of being like affirming to her of like, hey, you know what? It does suck. And I'm sorry. I know you're sad about it and I can understand that. And you're doing a good job supporting him by helping him put together whatever toy. Instead, I go, almost, I'm not doing an impression of your dad, but almost like a drunk 80s dad being like, well, you got enough shit last time, so maybe you should shut up and let him have a birthday. And I was kind of doing this thing where she was so getting on my nerves.
Yep.
That I was doing a really bad job with her this
She wasn't
weekend.
feeling seen.
She wasn't feeling seen, and instead of getting down on a knee, and I'm not trying to be soft snowflake parent here, but to just, all I had to do was just validate her feelings. I didn't go, you're right, and let's take you to the Hello Kitty princess store. I could have just said, I know, and it's hard to get all this stuff, and you're not. I know you got stuff last month, but it probably feels especially in your face because Henry's never had a party, and you always have, and to see him have all his classmates here and all these things, it's tough. Instead, dude, I was just a fucking dick to her. And I was just saying like mean stuff. I was like, you're selfish.
Yeah.
And I sounded like less 80s dad and more like Annette Bening in American Beauty.
Yeah.
Of like, I grew up and we didn't even have a house. We had a duplex,
I mean,
and it was not. And because she's so sensitive, she internalizes that. And I had a little time with her today because I took her to the orthodontist, and on the drive, I was just like, hey, I did a really bad job this weekend with you. I was mean, and I could have handled this better. I know you were upset, and it didn't go perfect, but I should have just said, I know it's tough. And it would have been better to just go, maybe we can do something next week. What are your ideas that'd make you feel better? Instead of just treating her like she's not even a teenager. And my mind went to such a dark place because I knew a guy who had a teenage daughter who used to be in the family, and I saw how he would treat his teenage daughter just like in public of like, oh, it's not good enough for you, is it? She's always complaining, don't you, and just, I was like, is that going to be, I don't want to be that dad when she's a teenager.
Of course you don't. But here's the thing is, when you have that reaction, you're kind of right to begin with, where but it's not, it's like, do you, the old, like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy kind of thing?
No,
right?
I don't know that, honestly.
Oh, it's just like a phrase, like when you get into a fight with your wife, it's like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Just like fucking, what are you trying to
be
prove?
Right.
Trying to prove your, yeah, exactly.
No, I don't. I tried that this weekend.
Doesn't work. You're kind of right where you're going, listen, you just had your birthday. It's his birthday. Calm the fuck down. Yeah. Like, those are all facts. These
Things
are all
to not say to a woman.
Yeah, these are all
calm down.
True things that you're stating, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter because they're not feeling validated. They're not feeling seen. They're not being logical in that moment. They're feeling very emotional.
Well, I think
they just want to be validated.
In a relationship, it's easy to say with your wives, but with your partner in general, I meant to say this a while ago, was like any fight I've had with my wife, it's like you're saying, do you want to be right or happy? Like, even if she's not right with something that she thought that I did. If she feels that way, it's true. If she's like, you made me feel this weekend, right? The birthday party, all these things. I was so grumpy about it because I didn't want it. I was like, let's do a trampoline park. I don't want to host this at the house. We just did a whole thing. I had to break down this whole studio, all this setup, clean up the kids. They're here, they leave. It's a total disaster. And it was the whole day and the day before and the day after. And I was like grumpy. And I said a grumpy thing of like, well, I'm fucking tired or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of saying to my wife, who actually did all the planning and all the work and got the specific little Hot Wheels wooden cars that the kids could paint, the girls could color with markers while this, and borrow the Hot Wheels tracks and all this. I made some snide comment of like, well, if I would have handled the food, everybody would have had a quiche,
Sure.
a mini quiche with bacon, and this, instead of, she set out cheese balls and pretzels and Oreos. You know what I mean? I said some cunt thing that was such a bad choice and really hurt my wife's feelings.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, that was a lot, right? You must be tired. You did a really good job, Jenna.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I could have said both. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And to Maggie, I could say like, you're being a little bitch. No, but like, yes, it is tough even as an adult to see somebody get all these things that you want, even though you got all the things you wanted recently.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah. No.
But in times like that, we should try to be patient. I don't know what to tell her.
Yeah. No, I think you did. It's never too late. You came back and you talked to her about it, and I think that's the right move. We had a similar experience this past week. We went out for the day. We were just doing some fun things. We were going to lunch. We were doing these things. And our 9-year-old has been having this habit where he just starts misbehaving. He starts taunting his brother.
Yeah.
He starts saying no to everything. They get in these moods. We were just like, you're just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's doing
Which we're not allowed to say that word.
not to them directly.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's not on the approved list, I guess.
I like it though when my wife would be like, don't use the C word behind their back. And then the other day I heard her go, they were just being cunts. And I was like, wrote it down in a little book.
The
Like,
date and the time.
date she said the C word about the kids.
And he'll be acting out, and then he starts getting reprimanded. And then the other day when we were out,
By you or
by
somebody on
me,
the
by
street?
me and my should be somebody on the street.
by
no.
from Scotland Yard.
By the police. No, my wife and I will be, there's repercussions. We start telling him, okay, now you're going to lose this thing. You're going to lose that thing, right? You're not going to get a treat when we go to the ice cream place and then.
Have you ever tried just opening one of the books he reads and you rip out a single page
Ooh,
and you
that's a good
crumple
idea.
it up and you say, do it again?
We take his books for sure.
No, I think you got to start going page by page.
Because there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
You rip out a page, it's all over.
Well, you're not going to want him to rip another.
That's
not
true.
Gonna want, I think you should try this.
I'm going to ask Catherine if this
Yeah.
is approved. And so when this happened the other day, he just kind of broke down and he got very emotional about it. He was saying, you guys are just picking on me and nothing I do is okay and blah, blah, blah. And we just couldn't, my wife's trying to tell him, there's repercussions for your actions. You're acting like a jerk. You're being mean to your brother. You threw.
Did she say jerk, by the way?
She probably did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's on
Write
the
it
approved
down.
list. Yep.
I try to say, I didn't say they were jerks. I said they were acting like Polacks. Go ahead.
But the problem is this was getting us nowhere. Telling him, hey, you're not behaving well. You're doing these things. These are repercussions. Much like Maggie, this wasn't getting us anywhere, and he was getting emotional.
It's also I always find it a losing battle to try to explain cumulative behavior to your child
Yep.
of like, you're acting like a dick and a bitch and a motherfucker and a pussy and you're being rude, crude, and dude or whatever. And to try to take like all the things from the day, they're like, what are you talking about? It has to be like, you pulled a hair from my nose.
Yeah.
It has
One
to be
thing.
this
So
thing.
They're like a dog. The last thing that
Truly.
happened.
It has to just be like the thing you pulled a gun on your grandmother.
Yeah. So the problem is we didn't have the time to just let this play out and for him to, come to these terms on his own eventually. We're out for the day. We're having a fun day here, and this is ruining it.
You're trying to have a fun day.
Yes. And so my wife and my younger son ended up kind of getting ahead of us, and they were going through a crosswalk, and I said, "Oh, we're not going to make it," on purpose, because I just wanted to be alone with him for a second.
You're walking on the street.
We're walking on the street. She makes the crosswalk, and I go, "Oh, we can't make it. We'll wait for the next one." And I just stayed with him for a minute, and I said, "Hey, I know it feels like everybody's picking on you right now. I promise you that's not what we're trying to do. I know it feels that way, and that's okay." And I said, "You know what? I think sometimes it's probably really hard to be an older brother, isn't it?" And he was giving us the silent treatment, and he kind of shook his head yes. And we live in a mixed household. His biological father, he lives with him 50% of the time. He lives with us 50% of the time, and he has 2 younger siblings on his father's side too. So he has 3 younger siblings. And so I said it probably feels like a lot of pressure being the oldest one, and maybe you're held to kind of a different standard than everybody else, huh? And he was, "Yeah, it does." And I said, "It feels unfair, doesn't it?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm just like, these are all things that I know he feels anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of saying them out loud to validate him, because I'm just like, I'm going to try this, see if it helps.
There you go. And you're really upset that Kamala Harris didn't become the president, huh?
Aren't you?
He goes,
Yeah.
me too.
And he's very smart. And I said, you know what? Sometimes kids that are really smart get treated like they're a little bit older than they actually are. And I said, you know what? It actually happens to kids that are really tall too. You know, if you ever heard about this. And so I was just kind of like trying to misdirect a little bit, just kind of like, oh, he's like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, just kind of trying to snap him out of it a little bit.
I love it.
He goes,
You just start.
yeah, just throwing facts at him.
Yeah. Did you know that giraffes sleep standing up?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he goes, yeah. And I said, you know what? But just, you are really smart. And, you know, sometimes people are going to treat you a little older because of that. And maybe emotionally, you're not older. And so that feels unfair. And he goes, yeah. And so we just kind of had this talk as we're walking for a couple minutes. You know, maybe we were 3-4 minutes away from my wife and my younger son. And by the time we got back to them, he had completely snapped out of it. And he was kind of back to his normal self. And I was like, kind of worked. All he needed to be was just, he needed to feel seen. He needed to feel validated. We didn't talk about any of the bad shit that had just happened.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's getting us nowhere.
Well, and you don't want to, and they don't want to. I mean, I was so down in the gutter with her because we had to leave the house so Jenna could put the party together. So I took the kids to an indoor playground that she didn't want to go to. But I realized stupidly that I, in the morning, said, "Where do you want to go to her?" And she named a couple places. And then I said, "Where do you want to go, Henry?" And he said, "The indoor playground." And I said, "That's where we're going. It's his birthday." And she was like so mad and huffing and puffing and stomping. But I didn't even like dawn on me with her shitty attitude of like, no, dude, you told her you were going to the places she wanted to go. And then you just completely took away her agency.
Yeah.
All I had to say was like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
It's a bummer. And we got to that place and she was fine within 30 seconds.
Isn't that funny?
And it was all this horror, and I stomped out, and my wife was like, "It's not helpful for me if you're in a crappy attitude too." And I was like, but
she's being mean.
She's being mean. I know. I said, she's being mean. And she goes, "She's 7." And I go, "But I'm 6.
Brandon, we're back with Gotta Goes.
Certainly not brass knuckles.
I mean, let's bring him back, right? Brass knuckles.
Let's bring back street fighting. Adult street fighting.
I haven't heard the term brass knuckles in 20 years, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I hate to go back to what we were talking about before the break, but I do feel like there is, I often joke about back in my day, a stranger could slap you, but it did make you come correct. I would not fuck around in a store because I have memories of just running around a store and having an adult grab me by the collar or swat me. And then when I tell my parents, they go, "You lucky I didn't get you."
Yeah.
You know?
My friend's mom, when I was a kid, hit me in the face with a spatula.
I would get...
with food on it.
More than once I got my mouth washed out with soap by a neighbor's mom.
Yeah.
For saying a pretty innocuous swear word.
They would, I mean, it was understood if you were fucking around There was a non-zero chance you got hit.
Well, maybe the solution, John, for our kids who are troublesome is that we just pay a hobo, right? Or, an unhoused person
Okay.
who has very little to lose. We say, hey,
I don't know
hey,
where this is
Captain
going.
Garbage, you see this little bottle of gin? You want a taste of this? A sweet liquor? Well, in order to do it, I need you to sneak up on my kid who's walking home from school and just start wailing on him.
We need Otis.
We need Otis. Spit on, swat this kid out of nowhere. Just
Sure.
confuse him, hit him, and then I'll meet you. You be on in the railroad tracks there.
Oh, definitely.
And I'll give you this Jack Mag here, this girly Mag. Look at all that buff muff.
Ooh, yeah.
It's from the 70s. And I'll give you this here bottle of good liquor drinking.
If you just introduce some trauma into my child's life.
And then that way those kids, they know that at any moment. I do remember we called them bums. I do remember once my friend's house, he lived near some semi-truck trailers where they'd park them near a storage facility in a factory.
Yeah.
And they lived on this block. And I remember playing with him and these pretty wild neighbor kids. And one of the kids got their pants pulled down and spanked over the knee by a drunk bum.
What the
Yeah. And you know what was done about it? Nothing.
Nothing.
And that kid had carried that trauma. But I bet you they acted right before their inevitable murder.
All right. I don't know how we're getting out of this, but we got to move
But
on.
listen, that's what's got to go. Bum fights.
Yeah. Bums
Actually,
accosting your children.
Bum fights did go. I think they were
Yeah, I think
canceled after
I'm
they
with that one.
tattooed their faces.
I'm with canceling bum fights. That was
All right.
that was a horrible.
But paying an unhoused person with a little drugs
Yeah, no, I'm not signing
to
off on
scare
this
your
one. No.
children. No?
Go talk to Jenna about this and get
All
back
right.
to me.
Well, look, the real gotta goes though.
Let's get to the gotta goes. All right. You want me to go first here?
Yeah.
All right. You know what's
Get
gotta
us
go?
back on course.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a real light gotta go.
Yeah.
I noticed this the other day. I was driving around a little fancier part of town in Orange County last week.
Isn't that whole county fancy?
I mean, not
Were you
all-
looking for OC guy?
No, I wasn't. Call back. No, there's some parts of Anaheim that aren't great, but
What are you driving around looking to strangle a prostitute or something?
but I drove by this school and I was like, oh, that's a fancy looking school. And you know what I noticed?
Where's this going?
I'm getting there. I drove back by Long Beach and I was like, that school doesn't look
Chris
quite as,
Hansen
doesn't look
wants-
very good. And you know what it is? These
Money.
These chain link fences around school. I fucking hate them. They gotta go. Now listen, before you jump in here, I understand they have chain link fences
Oh, I
around the
was gonna
school
say,
for a reason.
I thought you have a negative connotation because of Gaza.
No, I have a negative connotation because they just look shitty. I'm just like, we need to donate some money for some of these schools there's 3 miles of chain link around these
What
schools.
do they have around the Orange County ones?
They have,
golden bars.
They have like the black, like wrought iron metal fences. It makes it look so much better.
Well, it's a lot more money, John.
I know. So I think we need to do maybe a fundraiser for our schools.
More tax increases. Governor Newsome.
Whatever we have to do, Brandon, it's got to happen because I'm sick of these chain link fences. It looks like our children are in fucking prison yards. I
Well, they
hate
should
these
be.
things.
What if we paint the chain links black?
No, it's not just the color. Come on.
Okay.
We can do better. So that's my gotta go. Chain link fences. What do you got?
I got guys driving around schools.
I have children. It's acceptable.
My gotta go is an incident that happened right before we recorded.
Okay.
Which was we're all set up, got the working on getting the studio up to snuff.
It looks
got a
great,
new
by the way.
camera from our friend, shout out Becca, my neighbor.
Yeah, let us know, viewers, if you're watching
Coach
this video.
Teacher of the Year.
We got a new camera here.
We got a new camera gear that we're testing out, so give us your recs.
Yeah.
But also, right about an hour before you came, I gave you a call because we got a text message from one of the parents who attended Henry's fifth birthday party. It was his first birthday party.
For his 5th birthday.
That their kid had lice.
Wah, wah, wah.
So we had to send, and by we, I mean my lovely wife, who's not to be tussled with, OC guy, had to send out a bunch of text messages to let all the parents know there was a lice exposure at our party.
Yeah, there was.
And I had to put on the rubber gloves and comb for the lice with my kids, as I've actually never done before. It's a pain. And then because we're traveling next week, had to do due diligence and put a bunch of horribly killing shampoo on their heads.
Yeah, you suffocate the lice with it.
Yep, right before you came here. But luckily, Catherine, your wife, has been through it before, so she just did a quick comb through on the kids, and we're like, it's fine. We had a full meltdown.
Yeah.
My wife called me like they got infected with, I don't know what, blood cancer,
Yeah.
some communicable deadly disease. But luckily, there's nothing. It's not the parents' fault. Can happen to anybody.
It can. I get it.
They're not dirty people.
No, it can happen.
But
it's
it sure
happened
made
to
me
us,
feel
yeah.
dirty as a dirty person.
Well, because you had a party and had all these people over
and
here.
then it's like, oh, it reminded me of the COVID days.
Yeah, you had a super spreader event.
Yeah, of like, oh, God. And then you feel embarrassed, like, hey, we know we hosted this thing. Everybody's got hand, foot, mouth disease now.
Yep.
Luckily, it worked out fine. But I'll tell you what's got to go is these lice. How come we haven't eradicated them,
Dude.
Jimmy Carter?
It seems like a disease from like with polio or something. It's like,
Yeah.
what? We haven't figured this out yet?
I had to explain it to Maggie. She goes, what's so bad? They just lay eggs in your hair. I go, they drink your blood. And she goes, yuck.
Yeah, it's gross.
It was funny, though. Right before you got here, I washed out all the shampoo, and Maggie was such a sport. And she goes, boy, I hope I never have to do that again. I was like, me too.
You and me both.
Oh, also, before I forget, the thing that I meant to tell you that Henry said, it's neither here nor there, but he said one of the most macabre things ever right before his party. He goes, I hope I get to see my next birthday.
Jesus, okay.
I go, huh?
Yeah, me too.
Knock on the wood, guys. I go, do you know something I don't know?
That is disturbing. But
Yeah.
before we move on from lice, yes, we have gotten it before. It was, there was an event at school and one of the kids had it and it did get spread to us. My older son had it and it was back when he had really long hair.
Yeah, it
and
was
boy,
gross.
he's got really thick, long hair at this time. It was a couple of years ago and goddamn, what a pain in the ass it is.
What was the event, out of curiosity?
No, it was just in class.
Because the thing I read was like it spreads more with younger kids because they'll do nap time together. Because lice can't jump or fly; they gotta basically climb from head to hair.
Yeah, so I don't know how. I mean,
And
it was
since
just
our thing was outside.
yeah.
Most of the moms were like, "Yeah, it's fine."
No, but this was just in class. I mean, this was probably third grade, I think. So there's no nap time or anything. It's just
They're just rubbing their
a
heads
bunch of
together.
people got it, and he got it too. And yeah, you had to do all the shampoo, and you had to kill the little lice. You have to squeeze them with your fingers and kill them, and the eggs, and you suffocate them.
There was a
It's
lice
awful.
salon that the mom who was responsible for this was like, we went to the lice salon. I go, the fucking lice
Oh, yeah. It's
salon?
expensive. Yeah.
Where is this?
I don't know. You could
All
just
they do is lice?
you could just
They
do it
do
at home.
crabs too?
Yeah, you just do it at home. Just do it at
Okay.
home. That's my recommendation. You can do it.
Yikes.
It sucks. Yeah, lice has got to go.
It's got to go. How about you?
All right, I got one more. This is an easy one, and I think you're going to agree with it.
Racism.
Polacks.
Yeah. They're still here.
No, aches and pains, getting older, man. It's the fucking worst. This shit has got to go. Been walking this dog. Fucking shoulder's starting to hurt from walking this dog.
Because it's pulling so much?
Yeah.
It's getting big.
I'm like, what am I, 70
Gotta
years
switch
old?
it up.
I know.
Do some strength training.
And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And the kids are like, what's wrong with you? I go, oh, my shoulder, walking the dog. They're just like,
You know, the thing though, John, is that dog should not be pulling the leash. It should be well behaved.
I'm working on it.
Have you ever thought about hiring a stray dog
Oh,
to assault
teach it a
your
lesson.
dog,
Give it some
to
gin.
come and attack your You see this bowl of beer?
No, Brent, how dare you? We're doing the puppy training. We're doing all this stuff, but it's a puppy, so it pulls, and we're working through it, and it's
Yeah.
fucking hurting my
It's
shoulder.
working through that shoulder.
I'm just like,
of yours.
Jesus Christ, this shit's got it. This is for the birds.
Yeah. Well, my doctor said once when I hyperextended my knee, I was just getting a diaper out of the drawer when Henry was about 2. And I go, what the fuck's going on? He goes, you're getting old. I go, I'm not, I'm 39. He goes, yeah, well, you're going to be 40 soon. And this is when the knees, the aches start. And he goes, and then 50, it's going to be, the shoulder surgery. And 60, it's going to be the knee surgery. The 70s, it'll be the hip surgery. I go, and then what? He goes, well, then the cancer comes. I go, yeah? He goes, and then you die. I go, Can I get a different doctor?
This is your primary?
This is my primary care. He hates me.
Fucking Grim Reaper.
I hope he's fucking listening.
Yeah, you've
He's
talked.
like, this guy gives no praise to me. He's like the Lorne Michaels of doctors.
Well, I mean, biologically, you are 66, though, right?
That's true. I am 66. I almost forget.
Your virtual health age or something?
I'm biodivergent. I identify as a 66-year-old.
All right.
Yeah, the aches and pains, man.
Yeah,
They got to go.
I agree. All right. Any more gotta goes? You ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on to recommendations.
All right, let's take a break.
Tylenol and ibuprofen.
We'll come back with recommendations. All right, we are back with recommendations. Brandon, you want to go first for these?
Yeah, I have two tonight.
It's all right. Same.
First one is there's a little band you might have heard of called Smashing Pumpkins. And I listened.
Okay.
I listened to this band so much at age 13, 14, 15. It's ridiculous.
They're kind of a blind spot for me. I'm interested in this.
And it's a band that I kind of just stopped listening to at a certain point. Like the band kind of, I don't know if they, this is very uneducated because I don't know the band's history that much, but they kind of around the time Lost Highway came out, the David Lynch movie, they did a song in that, and their sound changed, the times changed, but they kind of had this 3-album run. And their seminal album was, remember, a double disc, dude?
Oh, yeah.
They had this album called Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
I do. That was their big
It
one.
was their big one, 2-disc
Yeah.
set. Had so many songs on it, hits and misses, but like I knew those albums top to bottom,
Yeah.
every word. And I would buy their B-sides. I'd go to Sam Goody and get a
Sam
single.
Goody? Yeah.
Remember, you'd buy a single and it would have like a couple extra songs on it or B-sides or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had them memorized. I had a Sony Walkman I'd listen to in the car. And dude, I don't know. I just am, I think the 90s are back, as we know, but I'm also just like, what other bands were, I'm getting the albums and I'm struggling to get a CD player that works.
You're struggling to get
I'm
one?
struggling. Well, just of like different things that I'm like, well, this has a CD player, but they don't work.
In the car or
In the
just
car-
in your life?
Well, we have one in the car.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm like, I want to start getting CDs back and get my CD book back and start building it up because I'm tired of paying to not own something.
Yeah.
I'm leasing shit on a streamer.
Yeah.
And the other day I put in the CD in the disc player in the car and to hear the sound, the very minimal sound of that disc going in.
The little motor sound. Yeah.
I was like, the tactile. I held up the disc for Maggie that I had. It wasn't Smashing Pumpkins, but I was like, do you know what this is? And she goes, no. I go, it's a CD. And she goes, okay. I go, it has music on it. And she goes, oh, not impressed. But the novelty of it, but I was like, I want to get the book back. I want to like not be like, pick any song in the world, but be like, we have these 6 CDs in the car.
Yep. This is what we're listening
This is
to.
what we're listening to. And hearing these Smashing Pumpkins songs that I've been rocking out, dad rock style, driving around town, running errands, like middle America here, and just fucking going through the repertoire of like Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness and Siamese Dream and Honey and Mayonnaise and the Landslide cover that they did in 1979 and Zero and Bullet with Butterfly Wings and Tonight and just like, God damn, they had so many songs and such a unique sound. And I'm going to see a friend of mine is doing the Sphere in a couple weeks in Vegas.
He's performing at the Sphere.
He's performing. Yeah. He's in the band No Doubt, and No Doubt has like such a visual appeal that works to that. And I was like, Smashing Pumpkins should play the Sphere because there's so much of the iconography and the artwork that is synonymous with individual songs and music videos that's so visual and almost physiological in a way that I'm because of that, I'm thinking of different bands that would work, like Tool. I don't know if you're into Tool, dude.
I think everybody's waiting for Tool to do the Sphere.
Well, if Tool does Sphere, dude, you and I got to go.
Oh,
big
yeah,
time
yeah.
Because
some bands lend themselves, I think, more to that kind of visual performance art. There's a lot of aesthetic to the band.
I think it's,
right.
to me, it's bands that had seminal music videos. I feel like
that makes a difference.
Part of it.
Yeah.
You know, or seminal album artwork. Like, you can't just have any old band.
Some bands, when you think about the band, you immediately have a visual component to them. And I think you're right. I think music video is a big part of it. Album covers and artwork in there. You have a visual. Some bands that are great bands, you don't really have a visual context for them.
Yeah.
Right? Just that wasn't part of their...
Stone Temple Pilots. I don't know. I'm thinking of 90s ones.
Yeah.
But it also made me realize, as we're saying this right now, of like, we've entered the legacy rock phase.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think about your parents, maybe when they're a little younger, Jenna's mom will be like, I'm going to see Paul Simon at Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Well, we saw Paul McCartney at Wrigley Stadium. And it's like, with these Sphere shows, because they're getting people in our age bracket,
We got money.
that I'm like, well, but that like they are middle class parents now.
Yeah.
And they're seeing the bands from their teen years that I'm like, oh, we're the parents now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. you know?
I'm going to go out and see Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age in Vegas this year. It's the same
Okay.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
They're playing the big, not the Sphere, but some big
Yeah.
giant thing. It's the same thing, right? You're like, oh yeah, the big theater, the parents go out to see the
Yeah.
thing.
It
right?
costs $900.
Yeah,
now.
tickets are $300 or whatever.
Well, we'll see because of that big Live Nation Ticketmaster.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I
if
heard
you're
about that.
following
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I did.
It
Yeah,
looks like they're going to have to pay up and bust up. Thank
Yeah.
God. But that's my first one. Yours?
great, good recommendation. I have two recommendations. I'm going to start with my first one is a kid recommendation. So, as you know, I have recommended audiobooks for children
Yes.
on this show many times. My youngest son listens to audiobooks when he goes to bed every night, helps calm him down, get him to go to sleep. And I have had multiple people that listen to this podcast reach out to me asking me for recommendations for audiobooks for their kids. Or they say, oh, we're doing that too. What do you listen to? What audiobooks do you like? And this is, I mean, it's not a full-time job, but it's a fucking part-time job trying to make sure that I have a good catalog of stuff for my son to listen to because he goes through it, he consumes it. So I have to constantly be one step ahead of him. What are we going to listen to tonight, the next night? So there's a great series. It's called the Fun Jungle audiobook series. It's a 10-book series. The author's name is Stuart Gibbs. He's also done the Spy School series, which is very popular for children. This is a 10-book series. Every book starts off with like an event or mystery happening in this zoo. This kid's parents work at the zoo, and then he solves the mystery throughout the series.
How long is each book?
About 5 hours.
So each night your kid's listening to 5 hours?
No, 1 hour a night.
Wow.
And so he'll go through one book 5 nights.
Is he just laying in bed for an hour?
Yeah. So from about 7:30 to 8:30, he lays down, listens to the audiobook. 8:30.
If he gets up, are you like, you lay back down and listen?
No, he'll get up to use the restroom or something. It's fine.
Wow.
He's actually he's got a piano in his room. So he's taken to listening to his audiobook and playing the piano with the audiobook.
Of course. Well, absolutely. Your son's Leonard Bernstein. I'm not surprised.
He's scoring his
Mine's
audiobooks.
picking his nose and smashing trucks into his testicles.
Henry is a sweet little angel
he's
boy.
picking his nose. He's smashing Hot Wheels into his scrotum. That's what
love
he's doing.
Henry.
I go,
He
don't
is not.
do that.
He's great.
You're not going to be able to have
All right,
kids.
that's my first recommendation. What's your second one?
I like to cook, and I also struggle with recommendations. But since I'm cooking all the time, I was like, and I follow a lot of recipe accounts on Instagram. It's kind of my pornography, in addition to actual pornography.
Regular porn.
Obviously. But there are these potatoes that I made the other day. That was a celebratory dinner. So I got some filet mignon, which I never have done at home. So, but I was like, I really want to make a nice steak. And I saw this recipe. It's from a girl named Sarah Bond, who's a influencer, content creator, but she has a recipe page called Goody Foodie. It's got like 1 million followers, but she posts these incredible recipes and she makes really good videos for them that they don't go too fast. They're not too stylish, but fondant potatoes means melting potatoes in French. And what you do,
I didn't know that.
I will put this recipe, I'll put this on our social media page so people can actually see her make it because she deserves to have more followers. But also, it's kind of, you look at it, you're like, how the fuck do you make this? But it's actually really easy. But they are the best potatoes I've ever seen. You take a russet potato, excuse me,
He's getting excited, folks.
and you use like a biscuit cutter and you cut a hole in it. So you have the skin on the sides.
Okay,
and they
sure,
match
sure.
top to bottom. And you sear each side of it on a pan. So you have you could probably use a good sized russet, get three cuts out of it.
Okay.
So you get 5-6 potatoes, depending on how many people you're serving. You sear either side of it in really good butter, and then you're cooking it on low in the pan, and you put some chicken stock in, and you baste it with the butter. So basting is just kind of you tilt the pan, and you're putting the butter over top. Then you put them in the oven for about 20 minutes. I added some rosemary and garlic in there, and they come out like they melt.
And this is just butter, rosemary, garlic,
Chicken
stock.
Chicken stock.
This is pretty simple.
It's so simple because
Okay.
it's French. I love French farm cooking. Like just easy, something you got at a French farmhouse. They're the best potatoes I've ever had. Anybody can make them. They look beautiful. You put a little Maldon salt on top. They're so simple to make. They're so elegant yet rustic. I don't know how to explain them.
I love
But you
it.
serve it. You're not a big meat eater or beef eater. You could have it with a roast chicken. But presentation wise, I would do some special bird. I'd do a Cornish game hen or something. But
Nice.
with a really nice steak, it was the best potatoes I've ever had. And I highly recommend that recipe and her Instagram account.
Are you going to post this on our Instagram?
I'll post it on our Instagram.
Yeah,
page.
repost it. This sounds great.
I'll repost it. I highly recommend it and
Okay.
recommend her account.
Love it. Great. Good recommendation.
Yeah.
My second recommendation is so this is another audiobook. But so the first
What
one
do you do all
I
day, John?
know, Brad. So no, the first one's a kid's audiobook. This one's an adult audiobook. This book is called In a Sunburned Country. This is a travel memoir of Australia. The author's name is Bill Bryson. It's loosely connected stories and anecdotes as this guy travels through Australia.
Huh.
And he did this, the book was published in 2000. So this was his travels, late 90s into 2000. And he's very dry sense of humor. These books aren't silly, but they are very funny. You can kind of pick up on any chapter. I have found this to be a great anecdote, at least for me, with my other media consumption these days, which tends to be pretty stressful, a lot of anxiety. I don't know if you watch the news at all.
Oh, you run flock cameras, right?
I don't know what that means.
Where you capture people's license plates so you can track them in pre-crime.
No,
right?
I don't.
Oh. What do you do again?
I just meant everything else going on in the news right now, which can be very stressful, a lot of anxiety. This has been a nice counter programming for me that I've been listening to this audiobook from the 2000s, listening to this guy travel around Australia and running into weird, deadly animals.
Well, and all the people are fucking nuts there.
I mean, and that's his point too.
They're culturally like dads in the 80s there, but as a people.
So imagine that, but he was doing it in the late 90s into 2000, even more so, I would think.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's definitely very self-deprecating. He's very aware. One of the descriptions I found of it when I was going to recommend it is just like he's bemused all the time. And I was like, bemused? I don't even know if I know exactly what that word means. So I was like, I need to look that word up. And
What
it's
is it?
mildly confused, puzzled, bewildered, or lost in thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, he is. And I think that's a good description of this guy's, how he comes across in this book. I think it's a great audiobook. It was really fun. If you're looking for something a little more lighthearted
Yeah.
to everything that's going on in the world right now, I think this is a good listen.
All right, check it out. Travels through a prison colony.
He gets into all of it. It's very fun.
Great.
All right.
Shout out. Shout out to the Lice moms. Shout out to the 80s dads. Shout out to cocaine in the 80s, which was different than the cocaine now. Shout out to the sensitive children,
Absolutely.
to the future child psychologist who's going to be evaluating and meeting my child to help her get through her problems. Shout out to me for trying to break a yet to be established cycle of trauma before it happens with me being a dickhead to having to deal with.
I'm very proud of you
sensitive
for
kid.
this. I'm very proud of you for this.
Dude, it doesn't feel good to feel like a shitty dad and shitty husband at the same time when you act like a fool. You know what I mean? Where you like, drive away from your
I
wife,
do.
you're like, boy, I really acted a fool.
Yeah. Shout out, on that note, personal shout out for me. Shout out to my wife. We had our 4-year wedding anniversary this past weekend.
That's it? Feels
know.
like forever.
Thanks.
Just kidding.
It seems like yesterday to me.
I can't believe you guys it feels like it was longer ago.
Well, we've been together almost easy,
boy,
buddy. Almost 10 years.
I've got my brass knuckles on.
We've been together almost 10 years, but we've been
yeah.
married for 4 years now.
Well, and you guys kind of eloped a little bit.
We did.
So I don't have a clear memory of it other than you guys were out of town and I watered your plants while you were in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Hey, see, I remembered what country you went to.
Look at that.
I
You
know
do
it's one of
listen.
those shit old
Who says you
countries.
don't listen?
I do listen.
All right.
Easy top. Listen, They're Fine is produced and edited by Wyatt Gray. Original music by John Ahern. John's Instagram is at John Ahern Music. You can find my inappropriate parenting on Instagram at Bubba Ogborn. You can find our recommendations linked in the show notes. If you have feedback or topic suggestions, our show email is
ListenThey'reFine@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at ListenThey'reFine, along with Brandon's recipes.
If you made it this far without calling Child Protective Services, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps other questionable parents find us.
Share the chaos. Tell a friend. Tell your therapist. Tell anyone who needs to feel better about their own parenting choices.
Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Whammo!
Whammo.
And then I said, fuck you!
No, fuck you.
Fuck you!